All right, whether in court or on the operating table, artificial intelligence is making strides in increasingly critical industries. And it's happening faster than most people ever expected. So how far away are we from technology actually replacing humans in real time, in real life? To join us, or to find out, we're going to be joined by Nikolas Badminton. Good to have you here.
Good morning.
We've got some developments on this story, even since yesterday when we were putting this together. Next month, a robot was supposed to represent somebody in a U.S. court for the first time. It was going to defend somebody. That has now been postponed, we've learned, after prosecutors threatened the man behind the company that created the chatbot with prison time. But how is this supposed to work?
Yeah, so it's supposed to be an application that taps into all of the laws and regulations and all the case law that's gone ahead, and to advise the person through an earpiece in the courtroom how to respond to certain questions. It's a really smart piece of technology. It seems to me that if they've shut this down, it's protectionism. If we actually look at what we're doing in terms of like hiring a lawyer, they're just really tapping into all the knowledge out there and applying it. And that can be done equally as well by this machine.
So it's basically taking the work of many, many paralegals and making it happen instantaneously.
Yeah.
So this builds on something else that was done, which is a major medical journal has said they will now no longer publish articles that list the chat technology as part of being one of the authors of the study, which feels to me like science blocking science.
Not necessarily. If you think about this, new scientific discovery and discussion is about having new creative ideas and collaborating across a number of different people to end up at a point that's net new. Sure, you can have a reference point, but it's not really an extra research assistant, as it were. So I don't see that as a terrible thing. I actually think that we need to put this in its place. It's just providing information from a reference point that's slightly older information than 2022, 2023, and just providing it to us as an idea of what's already been said.
Okay, when you see things like what was supposed to happen in the courtroom being canceled because the creator has been threatened with prison time, what do you think of that?
This is what disruption looks like. And then industries, like, they contract and they're like, okay, we got to protect professions and people and the industry as a whole. The legal profession is going to be absolutely turned upside down in the next 10 years from technology like this.
Well, you were saying even, is it Microsoft that's made a huge investment into this? Yeah,
huge investment in OpenAI behind ChatGPT and whatever. And it's the idea that these large language models can really come into different layers of application, but also find a home in so many different use cases across the globe.
So it feels like putting these sort of laws and threats in place, it's almost like a sandbag against a big tidal of ocean waves.
It's just protectionism. And we have to sort of embrace this, but understand that it's a mode of human and the machine, and not just the machine on its own.
Let's talk about what it can do. We've talked about ChatGPT on this show before. Now it can, shown it can pass the US bar exam, medical licensing exams, it can obtain an MBA, as we know. How is the role of AI going to change industries in the long term? You mentioned that the law industry is going to be turned on its head. Will it even take 10 years?
So we need to step up what it means to be creative and what complex understanding of the world looks like. So passing the bar exam and medical exams, regurgitation of knowledge. I was terrible at this at university and at college. So these kinds of things make sense to me, but I'm very good at the creative side of things and thinking differently, the divergent thinking. I think that's how we need to evolve all of these exams and all of these industries to be more human, because they're really not human. They're very sort of regurgitate this text, just like a machine. So that's what's happening, is the machine is disrupting a machine-like mechanism that we're just using as humans.
We're getting the machines to think like machines and using the human creativity to be humans.
That's it.
Okay. I'm going to think on that for a bit, as I always do. Nikolas, great to have you here.
Thanks very much.